Hey Foothill, just another opportunity here to recommend some books for you to read, to pick up and to grow in your faith. And in fact, the 3 books I've chosen for today are books related to your spiritual growth. And the first is in line with the sermons I've been doing recently on repentance. And so this is a book that I actually quoted in my first sermon on repentance by Thomas Watson. He's a Puritan. The Doctrine of Repentance. It's not very big, it's short, it's to the point. He has great language in which he's describing what repentance should look like in the Christian life. Highly recommend it to you. The second one I recommend is by Jerry Bridges, who has a wonderful writing style, and it's called The Discipline of Grace. The subtitle is God's Role and Our Role in the Pursuit of Holiness. And what this book really helps to do is to push back the tendencies toward legalism in our life. As we know that we need to be battling in holiness and seeking to grow in the Lord, and yet our pride and our self-righteousness can get in the way and keep us from really growing in the Lord. And so one of the key quotes from the book is actually quoted on the back, and it says, "Your worst days are never so bad that you are beyond the reach of God's grace. And your best days are never so good that you are beyond the need of God's grace." That whenever we live, however we live our lives, we always need God's grace, and Jerry helps us to be able to do that. And finally, a book called When I Don't Desire God. I don't know if it might even have a different cover now. How to Fight for Joy by John Piper. The title says it all, When I Don't Desire God. And if you're like me, you've been in those dry patches spiritually where you're just going, I don't feel like I even have a desire for God. John Piper really helps us to think through, how do we battle, how do we fight for that joy, even when we don't necessarily feel like it, and when that joy is not just bubbling up in our hearts. So if that's where you're at, I'd really recommend John Piper, When I Don't Desire God. And I know each one of these will help challenge you in your walk with the Lord and help you to walk more faithfully with Him in these days. God bless.